there is a very specific email every executive dreads. It usually arrives on a Friday afternoon, and the subject line is "Go live delayed again." Now, you've just burned $5 million, dollars, you have missed two very important deadlines, and the consultants are asking for a change request to pay them more money for their failure. So you are in what we call as a project red status. Now, when a project hits this wall, most leaders panic. They do one of the two unnecessary things. They fire everyone, they sue the vendor, and they try to restart, which destroys the budget. And number two is they rush. They say, just go live anyway, we'll fix it later. And this destroys the company. I'm here to tell you, do not restart and do not rush. You don't need new software, you just need a rescue plan. Hi, I'm Noel Benjamin Dcosta. I've walked into massive burning projects for governments and global airlines, and I've turned them around without scrapping the code. After managing 700 million in digital transformation budgets for global giants like Etihad Airways, I can tell you what works and what doesn't. In this video, I'm going to give you my REST protocol. And this is a 4-step framework I use to stop the bleeding and stabilize the patient and deliver the system that you paid for. So first, we need to agree on one thing. Your project is not failing because of the ERP. SAP and Oracle work fine. It's failing because of complexity. You have tried to fix everything at once, and that guarantees chaos. Winning teams do the opposite. They pick one broken process and they fix it end to end. And this brings us to the first step of the rescue, R. So R is for repair, but not everything. You repair one critical process first. So your project probably has 50 broken workflows, but there is one that is killing you. Maybe it's your invoices. Finance blames procurement, and procurement blames the vendor, and the vendor blames the system. So we stop the project, we ignore the other 49 problems, and we swarm this one process. So we map the real steps, not the documented ones. We find the bottleneck, and we fix the upstream data. Now, why do you think we did this? Because when you fix one thing perfectly, the team stops panicking and you get momentum. So once we have the momentum, we move to E for eliminate. Now specifically, we eliminate the noise buried inside the solution. A huge percentage of ERP failures happen because you're forcing work into the ERP that doesn't belong there. So you have managers trying to approve complex forms inside a tiny ERP screen, and they hate it. So they don't do it, so the process stops. So we move the approvals out of the ERP. We use a simple workflow tool. Now you could use Power Apps or you could use ServiceNow. The manager approves it on their phone in one click, and the data syncs it back to the ERP automatically. So the cycle times drop overnight because we eliminated the friction. Now that the friction is gone, we still have to fix the chaos. And this brings us to S for standardize. The ERP keeps breaking because your business is contradicting itself. Plant A measures inventory in boxes. Plant B measures it in pallets. Now procurement has one rule for vendors. Finance has a different rule. So we force the department heads into a room. We don't leave until we have one version of the truth. One rule for urgent PO, one definition for complete data, and one owner for every decision. If you don't standardize the rules, the software will never work, and the software is just a mirror of your own confusion. Finally, T is for transform. Notice that this is the last step, not the first. Most companies start here, and that is why they crash. You try to automate a broken process, and as Bill Gates says, automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency. So only after we've repaired, eliminated, and standardized do we earn the right to automate. Now we turn on the AI. Now we turn on the automatic routing. And now we build the beautiful dashboards. When you do it in this order, the transformation sticks. The users adopt it because it works naturally. So, how do you know if you need to call a code red and use this protocol? Look at these signals. Users are actually working in Excel. If they're exporting their data to do their job, the ERP has failed. The workaround culture. If you hear, yeah, the system says X, but we know it's really Y, that's a problem. And third, meetings are about timelines and not outcomes. If you're only talking about dates and never talk about value, my friend, you are in trouble. So if you see these signals, stop the bus. Don't fire the vendor yet. Try the rest, reset first. But you might be thinking, Noel, this sounds great on paper, but does it work when the budget is massive, when you have thousands of users? Well, the answer is yes. I didn't learn this theory in a classroom. I learned it by managing an implementation for 5 million users. So watch this video next. I managed ERP for 5 million users. I will tell you the war story of the biggest project of my life, the mistakes I made, and the one budget secret that saved us. So, I'm Noel Dcosta. Stop panic fixing, start resting, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.